Hey all my friends online. Wanted to just do this video to tell you about how all my dreams of becoming this biking superstar pretty much came to a crashing halt, literally. It all started back when my husband used to tell me about his days of riding his bike when he was a kid. If you don't know, my husband is visually impaired. Now, he had better vision when he was younger, and he'd always tell me stories with great enthusiasm about how when he was a kid, he would ride his bike down the street as fast as he can. So I, being the good girlfriend at the time, thought it would be a good idea if we could bike together in one of those bikes made for two. I don't know what I was thinking, but it seemed easy enough. I can be in the front steering, and he could be in the back pedaling. Ready to surprise Daryl. Okay, here you come.
All right, sir.
Okay, you're coming down the step, and you're going to walk. Stop.
See the line?
Stop.
Uh-oh. Oh my goodness.
What do you think it is?
A bike.
Take a feel. Keep feeling. Keep going.
Oh God.
Keep going.
She didn't do it.
Keep feeling.
She didn't do it.
Keep feeling down the bike.
She didn't do it.
A little bit more.
She didn't do it. She did it. The tandem. Oh my God. This is awesome. This is awesome.
So you want the front or the back?
Either one. I'll take the lead. No, I won't steer it.
Okay.
I'll pedal it. This is so cool.
Okay, how about we give it a whirl?
I have to put on my sneakers then.
Okay. I surprised him with that, and he was very excited about it. Now, our first test spin, it was a little shaky. I was a little nervous because apparently when you have those bikes, the majority of the weight really should be in the front, but you know, for our situation, it had to be in the back. And it was very shaky our first ride, and I didn't feel completely comfortable doing it, so I kind of put the bike away for a bit, and I just kind of didn't bring it back up again. So then I thought, well, maybe if we had training wheels of some sort, it would help stabilize the bike in the back so it wouldn't be so shaky for me. I did find some, and I put off buying them for a while. I don't know why. But then my brother-in-law had taken up biking, and he was biking like 30 miles per session, and he'd lost a lot of weight, and he was getting in great shape. And I really wanted to find something that was that fun that we could do together. I went ahead and ordered the wheels. And I installed them, and I thought, hey, this would fix that stabilizing issue. And I just imagine us biking every day or at least every weekend, getting in shape and just having a really good time together.
By moving your legs.
And it was still a little shaky, but the good thing was it stabilized it enough where I felt pretty solid that we were not going to tip over on the bike. Steering was kind of hard because his weight was still in the back and still a little shaky, and I just had to trust that eventually it would steer, even though it seemed like it took forever. So we practiced around the neighborhood, and I felt that we were ready for a trail. I definitely was never planning on going on the road with any cars, any traffic, or anything like that.
You guys are working up a feast.
No, I didn't say stop. I just say slow down.
Okay.
Feeling the burn.
And then a coworker told me about a great trail in our area. Now this trail goes all the way from Fairfax County out to the airport. So it's a very long trail, and it's just for bikes and pedestrians. So I was really excited. I had all these visions of us biking, getting in shape together, and having a lot of fun. I even went ahead and I bought a hitch, and I bought accessories and things like that so we could take the bike wherever we wanted with the RV. I even had a hitch specially installed in my car so we could bike and take it whenever we wanted and go wherever we wanted with the bike. So we finally made it to the trail, and I was very excited. But soon, my dreams would just all come to an end for us being these avid bikers. It all started very well, as long as we were going at a nice slow speed. And then we started speeding up, and the bike became more and more harder to control. And I guess my husband was in the back, living his days of yore when he was just biking as fast as he possibly can. Well, the faster he biked, the more he shook and swayed in the back, and the harder it was for me to control the steering. So I'm having all these mini panic attacks. I'm yelling at him, Daryl, slow down, slow down. He's like, I'm slowing down. It's like, you're not slowing down enough. It was very chaotic. So a couple of times I had to stop, catch my breath. So by the third time, I was ready to just quit. But I didn't want to give up. So I decided I was going to give it one more try. And all of a sudden, the shaking in the back was just too much, and I could not control it. So at some point, I just lost total control of the steering, and we were careening off over the edge of this embankment. All I saw was my life and my PTO flash right before my very eyes. And next thing I know, we were down the embankment. But unfortunately, my ankle was caught up in the bike, and my husband was trying to lift the bike, caught in it. So I'm screaming at him, don't lift the bike. And I stand up, and we're trying to get the bike up. I was ready to just leave that bike in that bush and just go home and just forget it. And we were somehow able to drag the bike back out of the bush. The brake was jammed onto the wheel. So even though we were able to pull the bike back onto the trail, we couldn't even push it back to the car because the brakes were clamped down on the wheel. So we managed to drag it up to an area where there was a bench. So there was no way we were going to drag that bike all the way back to the car. So there was nothing left for me to do but leave my husband with the bike and me walk back to the car and then find him to pick him and the bike up.
Okay. You got your phone, right?
Yeah.
And if I get there, I'll call you. And then I'll use the GPS to find you and come back too.
Okay. Wait, it won't roll, will it? No.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You can let it push it down on the ground if you want. It'll stand up on its own.
Okay.
There's a bench right there, so. Okay.
At this point, I literally felt traumatized. We fell over on the bike, fell into pricker bushes. I was itching, I was hurting, and I was just very upset. Pricker bushes, thorns, splintered, were just jabbing my skin, and I had to pluck them out. I was really upset with myself. I just felt like if I had just quit while I was ahead, we wouldn't have went over that edge, but I really wanted this for us. I didn't think I was that far from the car until I got on my phone to locate the car. I had been walking for almost 40 minutes, and I still had another 30 or so minutes to go. That's when I decided I needed to talk to my mom. So I called my mom to basically whine and complain and woe is me. And she was a great mother that she was very empathetic and wanted to make sure that I was okay and Daryl was okay, which we were. I think it was more of my pride and ego that were bruised more than anything. So I talked to my mom just to have someone to talk to while walking back to the car. And she suggested I call my brother because he had just moved to the area, then he could pick me up. And at first I was kind of against it because I felt like I was getting closer to my car. By the time he found me, I could be at my car and on my way back to Daryl. But then I decided I could really use some air conditioning even if I was close to my car. And then once I realized where I was, which was the Reston Town Center area, which I was familiar with, I called my brother and I waited for him in the heat. By this time, I was really kicking myself because the time it took for him to get to me, I really could have been back to my car and in the air conditioning, but I'd already called him. My brother finally picked me up and headed back to the car. So my brother took me back to my car and I had to use Find My Friends to find my husband and get back to the spot where I had him waiting for me.
So we went 3.4 miles.
So I got there first, and we dragged the bike to the car, and my brother, of course, helped us get it up on the car. And that's when I realized that biking, it just was not going to happen for us, and I don't know what I was thinking. My husband, seeing me visibly upset and probably on the verge of tears, decided, hey, let's at least go get a smoothie. So the smoothie kind of was the highlight of the whole trip. So as I got to realizing that pretty soon I'll be an empty nester and looking for activities and things to do, I decided that biking was not going to be it. So I went home, nursed my wounds, and thought I'd just start over and go back to the drawing board. If I'm going to find something to do for the both of us and keep us busy and keep us active, it's definitely not going to be biking. Well, we still have the RV, and fortunately that is something that we really love doing together. If you'd like to see more about our RV, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and check out my RV playlist. Please let me know down in the comments below if you have any ideas for any fun empty nester activities. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.